Owensville Town Council, May 5th, 2026 meeting at 6:30 PM.
A second.
All in favor? Aye. At this time, Vanessa is going to swear in our new council member, Isaac Clark.
Just move it back here. Okay, raise your right hand, please. I state your name.
I, Isaac,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and diligently
and diligently
discharge the duties of the office
discharge the duties of the office
of the Owensville Town Council
of the Owensville Town Council
to the law
to the law
and to the best of my ability.
and to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Very good. Awesome. Don't sit down yet. Tried to save you. If everybody would please stand and face the flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I was waiting for it, Billy. You didn't do it this time. All right. As a reminder, these meetings are recorded. Anyone who speaks is given permission to be recorded and posted to our YouTube channel and town website. Virtual participation is not monitored, so you can watch the meeting, but if you need or want to speak, it must be done so in person. Okay. All right. Approval of the town claims. Does anybody have any questions or concerns about the claims? No? Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the claims from April 7th, 2026 to May 5th, 2026 in the amount of $226,526.63.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do I have a chance to go through the April meeting minutes?
I was good with him.
You good?
Yep.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the April 7th, 2026 Owensville Town Council meeting minutes.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Park and Rec. Board meeting minutes. Is there anybody from the Park and Rec here today? No? Okay. Well, I thought it was a Park and Rec. Maybe it wasn't. All right, I'm sorry. All right. Make a motion to approve Park and Rec's board meeting minutes for March the 31st, 2026.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then the claims from Park and Rec. Do you have any
No.
concerns on that one? Isaac, do you have anything?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve Park and Rec's claims from April 28th, 2026 in the amount of $8,950.13.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, so we have hydrant testing coming up, inspections, and flow testing. This year is, the flow testing is due this year. That part will have to be taken to the fire board because they had agreed to pay that for the years that they were doing flow testing. But we are going to go ahead and make a motion to approve the contract with Triad Training Solutions for the hydrant testing inspection that is due in 2027 for the amount of $2,660.
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
And then I will get that turned into the fire board for their approval of the other half. Did we hear anything about the
No,
protection pond?
I have not yet.
I sent an email to contact in Indianapolis. I have not heard back. I think it was a couple days after the last meeting, and I haven't, and I need to follow up on it. So she didn't respond back. Well, she responded back to say, I got your questions and I'll respond when I know the answers. So.
Okay, I guess we'll have to table that one again.
Yeah.
And then, Corey, we talked about the website.
Mm-hmm.
You still feel the same about that?
I mean, we need to be able to handle the traffic,
Mhm.
so. The question, I think, was whether we go one level up or two, right?
Did you, were you able?
No, I told Vanessa I didn't have a chance. I've been overwhelmed and I'm
Yeah.
traveling tomorrow
Okay,
until the end of the month. So when I come back, I can sit down and go over that, but it's just gonna sit like that for now, I guess.
We just need cost, I think.
yeah, we just need
Yeah,
Cost on the second tier.
and
Third.
I'm keeping an eye on it too, to see if I see some promotions, you know what I mean? There was a promotion going on, but we weren't able to catch it, and now they don't have any promotions, but meanwhile, I'll keep an eye to see if there's anything that comes, I'd
Okay.
like to save you guys some money, but.
and so far, fingers crossed, we haven't had any issues with the system crashing
Well,
or
it's
anything.
getting there, I wasn't gonna wait till it crashed, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm just thinking ahead that we're gonna get to a point where, so, we're okay right now, but
Okay.
it's soon gonna be a problem, so, we're okay right now.
All right, thank you.
When I come back, I'll have something for you guys.
So, I did receive, from NDOT, regarding the drainage and street improvement, the highway improvement down Mill Street. They are wanting to purchase an easement, a permanent easement on one end where the drive is, that goes into the back side of the school from the highway. They're wanting to purchase that as a permanent easement. It's .004 acres, is what they called it. And then on the corner of Mill and Walnut, they want to purchase a temporary easement there, totaling, they've done all the paperwork, with appraisers and everything. They're offering $1,300 for that little section, which means, I'm assuming it means whenever they redo the roads, they're going to redo that section of drive right there where right now it's got a pretty big drop. You know what I'm talking about?
But the purchase in the east-west for the length of that drive, or
No.
just up on the end?
So just where, on the map, it's just a little section where you pull up into the drive. You know what I'm talking, off the highway.
Yeah, that's probably where they're gonna dump
Is that enough?
their stormwater.
So,
Yeah,
I mean-
they've been doing that with everybody down there.
And today is just
Cross
information, I'm just giving information out. Sandra's gonna read through it and make sure it's good, and then
I have to draft a resolution.
she has to draft a resolution. But I did want you to see it and at least know about it. So, this is the corner of Mill and Walnut, so they're wanting to do that temporarily, but then that section that goes up to the drive,
Yeah, okay,
okay?
yeah. Yeah, sorry.
So, unless either one of you see any issue with that, we'll have Sandra go ahead and get that started.
Other than fire hydrant on the corner.
Right there, where the temporary easement is, yeah.
Other than,
We're going over, yeah, we're going over
Say, is
where
that-
the water lines are on his.
Is that part of what needs to move anyway?
removing that hydrant. Yeah, it is. That is how it gets moved. And the
Because
hydrant
it-
gets moved too, right?
Is this on the
That goes back to the-
You west.
west side?
Yeah. Okay.
It's on the northeast corner of the lot. Right there at Mill and Walnut.
Yeah, they've been doing, they're buying a temporary on my mom and dad's, but they're gonna give it back.
Right, yeah.
Which I don't know what it's gonna look like.
So,
but it's
so with
done.
that one, they're gonna give that northeast corner back too, but they're wanting to permanently purchase the easement for the getting off and on the highway there. So, good? All right. Rick, your turn.
This is, so I stumbled into this, I stumbled into a lot of things. I called
Stop
the county
stumbling.
for a hole out here that blew open. I basically just called down there to figure out where he got his asphalt from. That's all I was done, figure out, cause I knew they'd get it cheap like we could. And this conversation got started about this interlocal agreement they have with Patoka, which, and it says on there everything it does, but it basically just says that it puts a legal thing on there that if we're in a bind, I can call it there and they can come help us on things, and vice versa. And it just basically makes it all cut and legal and fight for it, man. And I could get product or supplies from it or off of them too. It's just, you know, I just call ahead and tell them what I'm gonna come up there to get. And that part there is not gonna really save us any money. I mean, other than, we just wouldn't have to order anything. But like I was telling you up front there, like we pay $10 a bag for asphalt. I can get it from them in bulk for $3. And it's, I didn't even know you could get it that way, but they make it. So I can just get it from them. And they were down here Monday and helped us out here. They brought the asphalt mix and everything, brought a roller. We don't have a roller, you know, to help get this project all done. We had enough to finish patching our other holes too. But that's all that is you guys like it, I'll call him in the morning. I think their meeting's tomorrow. They'll run it through, and it's just, it's okay in Owensville, so if it changes in it, that's it.
Hmm.
And it's not a real big deal, sorry. I don't want to get started. So,
Don't have that one.
I think it's a pretty good deal.
Did you not get one?
We just have something
It was there until it was there.
massive, like really massive, go wrong, I could go up there, or they could come here with a piece of equipment and help, and stuff like that, so. And it just makes it all legal.
You would have to draft this if you guys are fine. I mean, I can draft it, it's just,
I think they are, they'll do it,
we'll draft it?
yeah,
Okay.
they'll run it through their thing. All I gotta do is, get a hold of them in the morning, or I can call shoot them a text tonight. And then I think their meeting is tomorrow morning, and they'll run it through theirs, and if they like it, they'll draft one up and bring it down, and you'll have to sign it, and she'll have to sign it.
Okay.
So,
Any concerns about it? No? I think it's great.
Yeah, makes sense.
I don't think there's any concerns about it. I do know that, I've talked to the highway, the Gibson County Highway Department before about interlocal agreements for Fort Branch and stuff, and you're right about the asphalt. They get it way cheaper than Fort Branch can get it, so, yeah.
yeah,
I don't see a problem with it.
with that patch stuff, you just,
Mhm.
you have to buy a skid of it to do 2 holes, so I could just run up there and get it. You know, they've always got it available, so.
Well,
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
make a motion, we go ahead with the, interlocal cooperation agreement with Gibson County.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Rick. You got anything else?
No, that was it. Today's a good day.
You happy with your new tractor?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can use it quite a bit. Got a lot of rock with it. On the holes.
Okay. Billy,
Yeah.
what you got?
I have a quote for replacing the valve, one of the 2 valves at the fire, at the water tower. I'm still in contact with the tower company trying to figure out when we're gonna schedule the dry interior clean out and when they're gonna repaint. And to let you know, and to let the gas company know, so the gas company can pull out when the tower's empty that week. And at the tail end of it, we need to get that other valve, that non-functioning valve out and replaced. And that quote is for, I was supposed to get an itemized quote for cost of materials plus labor, but that is for the job itself. That's the job total. So that's that. Now, I've got a quote for fire hydrants alone, is what that quote is on the back. That's for the fire hydrant that had a major malfunction the other day when we ended up having a break on 6-inch line.
Yeah.
We do have one on the shelf, but it's kind of nice to have one in case we need it. I think we should go ahead and get another one to replace that one and keep this one in case for foreseeable accident. You know, something happens, we've got one. Because still today's day and age, it's still hard to get supplies, and we've got one readily available here. So that's why we've got a quote for a new hydrant on that back page, because it's bagged up black where it can be used right now anyway.
Right.
And like I said, I'm still trying to find out I'm still trying to hear back from the tower company to get the scheduling dates for that project. So as soon as I find out something, you guys will know. That's really all I have right now, other than what? You have stuff for this? No? Okay.
So, the valve replacement price
Yeah.
is the whole project.
That's it,
That's
that's the
not-
material to get it, that's to get it done, that's for him to come in, do it, and get out. We're probably looking at having the tower, because the tower's gonna be down for about a week anyway,
Right.
before they clean out, before they paint it. And this is for him to come in at the end, towards the end, to get it, get in, get out.
Now that he knows that you're trying to coordinate all
Yeah,
this
because
with two other
after he gets
companies.
done with it, we're gonna have to pressurize it anyway, and make sure that that valve doesn't leak, so that's gonna have to be right there at that tail end. So that's,
Now, there's a lot of, I'm just worried there's a lot of timing issues
yeah,
there.
I know,
Okay.
and I went and met with him on my vacation, so we could go over this, and make sure we get this right, so. We kinda got one shot,
Have you heard from Pittsburgh about when?
no.
Okay. Okay. You wanna go ahead and approve that? Any questions about it before we do?
No, I'm good.
As if you anything? Alright. Well, I will make a motion to approve the water tower valve replacement with Keith Dyke Excavating in the amount of $6,424.49.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And make a motion to approve buying a replacement fire hydrant from Midwest Municipal Supply in the amount of $2,375.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. That's all you had?
So I got-
Nothing else? I see Roger's not here, but we got Steven.
We're taking the charger up Thursday to get the new equipment axon put in it, up to cops gear, so that we should have it done that day. It only takes a couple hours from my understanding for him to get all that put in, up and going from that. Still waiting to hear back on the new Durango. We don't know when it's gonna be in or anything like that.
Right.
Other than that, that's all Roger had for you.
I did briefly look at the information you gave me on the,
The grant thing,
the grant program,
yeah,
but I wanna look at it some more before,
yeah.
I wanna give them the opportunity to look at it too, so. All right.
If you do have any other questions on that, Pop Dot's already signed up for it, we're doing getting ready to do the training on it too.
I'll get you guys a copy of the brochure that he handed me. All right. Stacy?
Here to represent the REH board tonight, and a couple of things. Can we get some dates in the near future to review the lease between the town board and our board? If you can just shoot us some dates, or if you don't have to say it tonight or whatever.
Okay,
Just-
so I will have, Vanessa, we'll get on our little group chat and she'll coordinate between us three, and then we'll shoot you guys some dates on when we're all three available. And then hopefully one of them works for you guys,
Okay.
okay?
And then, I don't know if on the tail end of that meeting, then we need to bring in the alumni board also to talk about the maintenance issues regarding their items that are hanging.
Okay.
Because we've done a little repair work and Mark's done some repair work just so people didn't get hurt walking. And then the next thing is, we are wanting to epoxy the mezzanine, the ramps in both bathrooms. So Eric's worked and got a quote from, it's called Prime Concrete
I'll give you
Coating.
that one.
And to do those three areas, the total, that's a ramp, and then, this is the mezzanine, and this is the bathrooms. And the total comes to 11,000 and, further down, on my papers,
Oh.
11,000. 197. And I think you guys have 12,000 in the budget. For us, I know the park board at their meeting the other night talked about putting 8,000 of their money towards that. But it might be easier just to do, closer to the 12, just use your funds.
So, what was this one here? This was the two bathrooms.
The ramps,
So I've also talked with Andrew.
So there's three quotes there. One, the main quote is for the main level, the entrance level. And then there's an additional, in the paragraph below, there's an additional $17.50 for the ramps.
I have that highlighted there.
And then we got a separate quote for the bathrooms. And then yesterday I was asked to get an additional quote for the remainder around the top of the gym. And I have that
I
here
didn't
also.
handle that one.
So and that's probably where I was, because I've got all four of
Yeah,
them.
and
Okay.
Yes.
that's not a priority in my opinion right now,
So so you're not worried about the loop,
Right.
correct?
Our main priority is to get the main entrance way, the ramps. We want to get the bathrooms upgraded, toilets upgraded, and then the plan to upgrade the concession stand over the summer. That's our primary concerns. Our thought was using your funds for the epoxy part, and then Andy mentioned the Parks Board funds reallocating for bathrooms and concession with their funds, and then we'll put our additional funds, make up the difference.
Okay. So how much do we have this year for them?
12,000.
Okay.
So that comes to 11,197 for those three areas.
Okay. And then Park and Rec's had 6,
10.
10. Is it 10 this year?
That's what, Karen went back and looked the other night at our meeting, planners meeting, and told Andy that they have 10 in their budget.
10, that's what I thought it was,
Good.
But
10.
they were
And
talking about 8.
he wanted to put 1,000 towards the new electrical, and we would split, pay the other 1,000, and then he was wanting to take 8 to apply towards the floor, and then keep 1,000 back for a rainy day emergency fund. But like Eric said, if we could use their funds for the toilets and bathroom upgrades, that would be great. And the color that we picked out is, it's called slate. It's gray with a little bit of black and a little bit of white. It's very muted, it looks very classy. Floors in the bathroom is chipping up and big hunks. It's pretty bad.
We got
I mean,
the new lights put in, and it made the bathroom look really bad.
yeah, I can show you a picture of the bathrooms if you would like to see it. They.
Well, it's definitely not an issue of whether we want to or not. We definitely want to help you guys out. I mean, that's what that money's there for, right? We just want to make sure that we're not spending all of it this early in the year, because if there is another emergency, and that's kind of where ours is supposed to come. Park and Rec should use the majority of theirs.
Okay, then
But
that's
we just need to figure out how it's gonna get paid out.
The bathroom floors are pretty bad. That's just the men's.
So, the ramps and the main entranceway
It's the mezzanine,
is
the
the
two
90
ramps.
is the 9,300, correct?
75.55
And-
plus 17.50, yeah.
93, yes.
Okay. And then for the bathrooms, used it,
It's
1900.
an additional, yes.
okay. I'm trying to remember exactly what,
We just want to get
Yeah,
on
you said-
their schedule, because they're already booked apply. And
I mean, yes. I want to do it, but
When are you starting the other repairs?
well,
Trying to coordinate with this, that's why the bathroom.
This first, or?
that would be first. That way we're not pulling up toilets and having bare spots and all. We would be expanding the concession stand, so yes, all that needs to be done. The floors need to be done first.
alright, so you're not worried about doing this part right now, so that,
The circuit, no,
okay,
no, that's.
so we'll set that one off.
And they said it could be done later at any time without any issues, whether it mess everything off. It's not like it all has to be done now.
Well, I mean, why don't we, you wanna just do? We'll just take care of the big one out of our fund, and then let the Park and Rec take the $1,900 one. Or
It really doesn't matter where it comes from. in my
I
opinion.
mean, why don't we just do this?
I
The-
think that's kind of our thought too, is it doesn't really matter to us, it's whatever's best for you guys.
Well, and honestly, we don't know. We haven't had any issues before parking. I wish somebody was from the Park and Rec was here, but I know Andy wasn't able to make it, and I get it.
Did you talk to Andy earlier?
I think his
And
point,
Angie was at the RH board meeting last night, who sits on the park board, and she's very aware of it, and again, Peter, Paul, whoever pays it, it's just, it's close to 12,000, to me, it'd be easier to do it out of one account than splitting it.
That's how I see it.
yeah, that's fine. That's
If
it.
we're gonna do it,
And then
we just do it all.
they'll just-
out of that one.
And then
No.
we take their money in case
The-
there's an emergency.
They'll just have to know that the emergency fund isn't here this year. They've got it.
Or you guys, whenever you run through theirs.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay. Well,
maybe we could get lucky and have more, but we don't know that yet.
So which leads to my next question, budget, you still need by the end of May for June?
What,
Yeah.
not end of June, right?
No, not the end of June.
You
I
need
would
by-
like, I would like to have it at least by June 15th.
But so if you have it by May, end of May,
You,
you're good.
you want your stuff turned in by June 15th?
No, I
You
don't
want
have
their
my,
stuff turned in by June 15th?
yes, by June
I thought
15th.
this year, or last year you told them,
Last year we had it turned in.
Middle of May.
Last year we had it turned in the middle of May.
Yeah,
well, that'd be better,
Okay.
so she can put it all together.
Okay.
all right, how much is that?
They said, what'd you say, 11,197?
192 or something like that.
Let's just add them two together. Well, three, I guess.
Alright. Make a motion to approve prime concrete coatings, to redo the floor at the REH Center. In the amount of $11,197.
A second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then, yeah, I'll talk with Andrew again, of course, I know you guys will too, but we'll just make sure that everybody understands that instead, cause I remember when I talked to him the other day, his plan was to go ahead and deplete his funds and then leave the emergency in on us. But this works, like you said, it works both ways, but and we see it getting spent anyway, so. Alright,
Alright, thank you.
thank you. Okay. Did you guys have anything else? No? Okay. Yes, sir.
This is my first time here, so do you mind if I go towards the last? Because I don't mind swimming with the sharks, but I want to know how deep the water is.
You can go. I'll come back. Yes.
I'm here for two matters. One's personal. I just got my water line replaced in my house. It's the invoice was paid $2,800. I had my water line replaced to the meter all the way to this, around the house to the shut off. My wife was asking if we can get some type of break on the sewer.
So, talking with her a little bit, we'll have to have Karen go through and figure
She's
some
the one
numbers
who
out.
does that?
Sure.
Obviously, if your leak was outside the home, then we can do something on the sewer, but she'll have to go back and figure out what the average is,
Yeah, that's fine.
and then we can do that. So that would probably be next month, but
Yeah, that's fine. I told her that would probably occur, especially since she didn't make any phone calls.
just need to know what are we looking at,
First time.
timeframe. Yes, you need to know that.
Will be able to tell
Okay.
on his account.
Yeah, you'll see a significant difference, trust me. We've been paying the bills. Next thing was my daughter's nonprofit that I started. It's Hope of Sarah Incorporated. It's legit now. I'm still waiting on the approval for the 501c3. I got the application to get some funds through the commission's office. They, I don't know. They said they're not distributing any more money until December, even though they got to return the report in by August. So I don't really. I'm kind of working with the head guy there now to try to get some funds a little quicker, because if they got the money, they really should distribute as much as they can before the report. I work really closely with Hope for Warwick County, which the lady that started that, her grandson died. And she's been doing it for about 4 years. She's given me a lot of help as far as looking stuff up online. She helped me work with how to get money from the commissioners. I'm working with the department, Gibson County Health Department. I actually went down there went to one of their meetings to see about the funds that they have, which is all restricted. And I ended up they put me on the board. Now I'm a member of the suicide and overdose review team for Gibson County. I guess I get to go to a meeting every 3 months. But I also get to be part, I'm the only parent there who's lost a child from this, so I actually get to be a part of how they spend their money. And they got a lot of money. I mean, it's just like just under $200,000 that they have. And I found out that the town has like $20,000. That's just on the internet. Now, whether that's accurate or not, you guys will know that. I don't.
So we actually do know how much we have in it. So that started back in 2022. We started receiving funds for that. In 2022, we received $907. 2023, $162. 2024, $1,319. And then in 2025, we received $528. These were the unrestricted funds.
Right.
So in that account, currently, we have $2,918.27.
Right.
There's there are, state statutes that dictate how that money can be spent.
Mhm.
None of us know.
No, yeah, you're
how
fine.
it's done yet.
Right.
But it'd be something that we'll look into. And then our unrestricted funds, in 23, 24, and 25. So let me back up. In 24 and 25, we didn't receive anything. In 23, we received $474 by mistake. We had to reimburse that back
Fair
to
enough.
the county. But in 2022, we did receive $2,118. And so that is what is in that restricted count, which that has.
So it's not even close to
more
the
restrictions.
20,000, right?
So we're nowhere near 20,000.
No, yeah, you're fine. I got the number of the person who does that report, so I had to get back before I called them, right?
I wonder if Montgomery Township got anything.
Possible.
But anyway, so yeah, my goal here is to try to, I went to the Gibson County 4-H Center a couple weekends ago at that big flea market they had, set up a booth. They let me go for free. I passed out 65 doses of Narcan. I'm a registered distributor through Indiana Overdose Lifeline. I reached out to the Owensville community planners because I live right on the corner where they're having that barbecue thing, And like the reason I haven't set up the distribution thing that we talked about the last time I was here is because I wanted to clean my yard up. It was a disaster. I couldn't even see where I was going to post it because of that ugly fence that was there. So we took it down, planted grass. Now I can actually set it up and I can monitor it. It's hard to do with a fence between you and it. But anyway, so I'm working on that. I'm still waiting on a response from them as far as setting up a tent there to distribute Narcan because I get 100 doses a month, and I'm very active on distributing it. My biggest thing I do is to try to get rid of the stigma that's on it, which a lot of people have it. You see the post I had on Owensville Connection, someone had a stigma with it, which is fine. I'm cool with that. I mean, just honest communication is how you educate, and I get educated too because I'm new at this as well, but I know a lot about it, but my wife is a LPN. My stepdaughter's an RN, and we're working on trying to start a clinic. Whether we do it in a building or on wheels, this depends on what doors God opens, honestly. But I've already communicated with a few doctors. I tried to work out something with a nursing home. They don't like me too much right now because I reported them to the U.S. Department of Labor. but I don't need them. I got 3 doctors that's really pondering it. I just need a doctor to say, yep, they love the idea and they're willing to put their name on the paper. That's all I need. I've already got the nurses. I got other nurses. Like this one nurse just lost her daughter to this, and she's all over it. So I think once I get the doctors, it's all just going to work out. The details of how that's going to be, I don't know. I know you guys own a building right over there. I'm not sure if that could be the hub. That's something you guys would have to talk about. I don't know what you would be willing to sell it for. I got a nice little settlement coming myself soon, hopefully, from this wreck I was in, through the Indiana State Police. I'll buy it, if that's the only way I can get it. But anyways, there's a lot of planning. Just wanted to put this stuff out there so you guys can start thinking about it and talking about it. And appreciate the information about that money, because I could literally show you on the internet that you got $20,000. I'm not sure where that came from, but anyways, appreciate
Put
it.
too many zeros.
Yeah, right, I guess.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Dennis.
As for the planner, you can set up.
I'm sorry?
You can set up that day.
Oh, you guys are on that? Awesome, that worked out pretty good, didn't it?
Good deal. Scott, you got anything? No. I'm okay. Sorry.
You know, so we all jumped up to check on it.
Yeah, I know. Thank you all. I wasn't turning blue yet. That's all good. Chief?
I have nothing.
Nothing.
Well, maybe I do.
Okay.
Let's go back.
That's it.
Yeah. The coordination between Grand and Water Tower and these guys, it's going to come to test the hydrants and, gas company and take that into consideration.
I didn't think about the flow testing, no, you know.
So we'll have to be sure and let them, Chris, know. But anyway, that's it.
Josh? Nothing?
Not begging for money this time.
Pedro? Vanessa? Boy? No, it's your chance. First chance.
First chance.
Sandra, you got anything?
I don't, but Lily might.
Lily?
I think she's good.
Okay. Sir,
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
if you would, at least tell us your name and,
Of course. I was. My name is Rolando Reyna. I've been living in Owensville less than 3 years. I moved in California. And ever since I moved here, one of the biggest concerns that I've seen and heard from my neighbors all the way around was the speeding that's going on in this town. Times are getting better. The days are getting better. Sorry to say, everybody, but Indiana sucks as far as drivers. Everyone on my motorcycle, everyone wants to turn me into a hood ornament, and when I'm in my truck, everybody wants to park in the back of my truck. And they keep driving down 3rd Street, which is where I live, easily between 5:30 in the morning and 6:30-ish. And you're all welcome to have coffee on the porch with me and smoke a cigarette if you like. And I watch all these fools that are racing on the street. I started thinking about why, because when the winter was here, I was able to see 2nd Street, same thing goes down there. Main Street behind me, same thing goes down there. One of my neighbors that lives on Main started complaining from day one when I moved in. I figured that they're avoiding 1st Street, 65, whatever you want to call it, coming down north and flowing through town because they don't want to get backed up by the trucks, or having one of our 2 officers, whether it's Roger, I haven't met this man yet, but I've seen him around because he's cruised by street several times. They're either they figure they're either at the end of Brummett or where it begins, right there. So they're racing down through town. They're blowing pretty hard. Now, I was wondering if the town could borrow some deputies from the county. So I went to see the sheriff. Not that I say that they're doing a bad job, but they only got 2 officers for a 24-hour service.
right.
And they have to eat, sleep, and do whatever else during that time and have a life. So actually, and I was surprised that I got to see the sheriff, Van Owen, I think his name. He admitted me into his office. And are you Sandra Hicks?
Yes,
Okay, I have a couple of questions for you too.
I'm not law enforcement, so.
No, I know,
won't be
I
able to
know,
answer a
but
lot.
I have an idea,
Mhm,
and the sheriff told me to run it by you since you are the attorney for the county,
mhm. The
Okay.
town.
for town,
Mhm.
okay. So, can I get back to you in a minute?
Yeah.
Thank you. What I wanted to do was, I saw the breakdown of what a ticket costs, an offense. It's $150 maximum for going up to 10 miles an hour with the speed limit. That's peanuts. Because I smoke more cigarettes in a month than $150. And I can see why nobody cares about the speed. For $150, they'll blow it. But what I wanted to do was what California has, and I'll be referring to California because I spent nearly 50 years there. When you break the speed limit, not the speed, over the mileage, just the limit, say it's 30 miles. As soon as you break that, that's a $150 fine. Then they tax you $10 per mile between 1 and 10. And if you go 11 to 20, now you're getting taxed $100 a mile. You go over 20, then they're yanking your license. And this is my question for you, ma'am, is because the sheriff said it could be done, maybe. You'd have to find out, and you have to find out through Indy. And I don't know where.
State statutes that set the rate for speeding tickets.
Yes, I understand, but in California again, some cities, because they're trying to get rid of smoking, and I'm talking cigarettes, nothing else. You cannot smoke in Belmont Shores, Burbank, Santa Monica, out in the open. Like I smoked a cigarette before I came in here. If I would have been in those cities, I would have been arrested or given a ticket. That's for the safety of the citizens. Can we imply not just what the state calls in, but more applicable fines that would go probably more to the state, because each ticket is divided 70% to the county, 23% to the, 70% to the state, 23% to the county, and 2% to the township, whoever gave it out. And I've got the pictures here that they gave me at the assessor's office. So, when I talked to the sheriff, I asked him how much would he charge, or the county would charge the town to assign deputies here just for traffic control. And like I said, not saying anything against your service, sir, because I know you're busy, I've seen you, and so is Roger, but just only 2 of you. I asked for 6 deputies. And he says, I'll assign them tomorrow, which was today. Whether they showed up or not, I don't know. And I asked him, well, how much are they going to charge? Because I'm not going to get the town in trouble over a finance. He goes, it's free. And he says, now Frisco, which is Frisco, little town outside Princeton, they have one sheriff over there that they also asked for. And they're giving them $600 a month for the service of the sheriff. The sheriff on Owens, or Bruce, whatever the name is, he said, no, we don't want your money. He goes, take it. You're helping us a lot. Today's GTC, Gibson County, something on the website or my phone, it said Hofstad is cracking down on speeders also because of the same problem. Now, my neighbor across the street, her grandson just had his dog killed right there on Mill Street. Well, he got run over, they took it to the vet, they had to put it down because it was hurt too bad. And from what I understand, the woman that did it came back and berated them for having the dog loose on the street. Okay, that's fine. But the owner of the dog, little kid, he's got little brothers and sisters, and they're kind of goofy, like all kids are, and they run out in the street. If you're doing 35, 40, 50 miles an hour down Mill Street trying to get out of town, we're not going to stop. You're going to kill a kid. If you're going down 3rd Street, I got joggers, dog walkers, old people, including myself. We take a walk in the morning and the afternoons, exercise, especially now. It's real nice. So we're in danger because there's no sidewalks. Owensville has what, maybe 10% sidewalks in the town? Is that a good guess? I'll give you 20. How's that? Because I don't think it has more than that.
The sidewalks are, they are something that we have been working on.
Well, okay, fine, but right up to now, there are no sidewalks. So pedestrians, kids playing on their bikes, old people walking their dogs, whatever, have to share the street. So people are always blasting down the street.
So,
and that's been going on for 3 years now.
So, and yes.
That I know. Longer maybe, but for 3 years.
I only have a month, I only have last month's and what we so far this month. So, these are all the stops that were made just by Stephen.
In the last 2 days.
Oh, that is
That's the 2 days,
Oh, that's
that
2
was
days.
yesterday and today on Mill Street. Yesterday is the first big block you see there, that was just all the traffic coming in and out. The ones that I stopped, I wrote if I had warnings on it, or if I gave them a citation.
Okay.
The bottom part was today, while it was still raining.
And that's awesome.
So, I know that this guy's pulling people over, because I get calls about him all the time. The cop is out here pulling everybody over, and we're mad about it, and
Why are they mad? They
because
have this
the ones
one,
getting pulled
they have this
over.
little rectangular pedal next to the floorboard, even my Harley Davidson has it on the floorboard, it's called a brake. Why don't people use it?
But nobody ever, I promise you, if somebody's complaining that our cops are pulling too many people over, we're not telling the cops to not pull people over.
Okay, but that's the mentality, that's the mentality of these drivers, that's what I got to in the beginning. Indiana sucks as far as the drivers.
Well,
I've driven in 39 states of this country, or road, or maybe both. But this is the worst state I've ever been in. I love the state, don't get me wrong. I think Indiana's beautiful. It scares me during the winter, I'll admit, I'm not used to that. But as far as drivers, you could drive going down to 41 and, hey man, a little bit closer, but you warm me up with your radiator, you know, because it's kind of close, you know, I enjoy that. So, I haven't had problems with Kentucky. Anyway.
That's where they're all going.
Cheap gas, cheap cigarettes.
That's where I get my cigarettes, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, yeah, I think, another thing I asked the sheriff was construction zones for the reckless. Because they said that it's up to an officer's discretion whether they're gonna cite somebody for reckless driving. They could be going 30 miles, 40 miles over the limit, but if they don't consider it reckless, they just give them a fine. And they have to show up to court or whatever they do here. But he told me that any construction zone, and I said it because of what you were mentioning about the water and the gas lines being checked, the crews digging with their lights flashing and everything, that's good enough reason for an officer to give them a reckless driving. So I hope, I'm not saying he doesn't know, or Roger don't know, but it's gonna scare these people to slowing down, because what's the difference between a dead Californian and a dead Hoosier? In California, they don't give a shit. And here, they say prayers to the family and that's it, but nobody decides to stop the traffic.
well, I can promise you that we have been pushing to have the speedings slowed down and stopped. I mean, as far as the fines, Sandra can look into that if you,
The state determines
yeah.
the guidelines on the fines, and if you get a speeding ticket, it goes through the court system, and the court determines what your fine is going to be. It's
Okay.
out of my hands, it's out of the sheriff's hands, that's just the way that it is.
Okay, because the breakdown that I got, and this is from the county assessor, is that if you're going from 1 to 15 miles an hour, it's $9.50. That's the fine. Plus court costs, which comes out to $149. Like I said, $150. If you're going 16 to 35 over, it's $19.50.
Okay,
So which is $139.
I just don't have the power to change
It's
that.
$139 for court costs, total $169.
But I don't have the power to change any of that.
No,
You
what I'm
have to
saying,
talk to
okay,
the
what I'm
state
saying is,
legislators.
this is peanuts.
I know, but you're talking to the wrong crowd. You have to go to your state legislators, and you need to go to the county commissioners, you need to go to the county meetings and things. We can't do anything to make any of those changes.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. Well, yeah, there is things you can do,
The-
and
The way the laws work, to my knowledge, when they come down to it, so if there's a law that's set, we can make that law more strict. As far as
We can't,
just
that's what I was saying.
like we
about-
can have
we can't
not
make it more strict.
not fines,
Yeah.
not fines, but like if the state says you can drive golf carts down the street,
Mhm.
the town can have an ordinance that says, no, you can't, right?
You can't, this is a law school subject. You can't, what the state gives, we can't take away. What the federal government gives, we can't take away, but we can give more freedoms.
I was back.
We can't, yeah, we can give more freedoms, we can't take away what the state says is what they have set, okay? But we can give more freedom. So if they said golf carts can be on the street, then we can say, okay, well, double wide golf carts could be on the street. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
We can give more freedoms, we can't take it away. The state determines what the fine guidelines are going to be. And then it's up to the court system. So he'll write a ticket, and it goes to the clerk's office. And the clerk will process it and put in all the fines and stuff that the judges have set forth. And then you will get something in the mail telling you what your fine is and how much to pay and what date to pay it on. And if you want to fight it, you have a court date on your ticket. And you can go and you can talk to the judge, and he can go outside of those guidelines. But I have no authority to do that.
I'm not saying you have authority.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you could look into it where you could add on, or the town can add on to it as an emergency to help the citizenship. The same thing I was talking about, the smoking in the cities and stuff like that. They got light pipe ordinances in other towns because of motorcycles, hot rod cars and stuff like that. It's just to give the people, according to them, peace of mind, and the ones that are gonna violate it, either tone it down or pay up. And it's the same thing here. That's what I'm asking for. If the state requires $9 for 15 miles going over the speed limit, and it'll say, well, you know what, during the summertime, Owensville's gonna put you another tax of another $50 on top of that. And then you submit it to the judge, and that's why I think what the sheriff was telling me, that you don't have to do anything. But it would be good that you would look into it, see if it can be done. Because in actuality, you're helping the citizenship of the town. There's a lot of people that don't care about it. There's people that come in, please, if you're gonna roll your eyes at me, you know what, I'll shut up. I saw you roll your eyes.
I'm scratching my eye. I did not roll my eyes. If they have to vote for me to do certain things, and that is one that they would have to vote for me to do. I did not roll my eyes at you, sir. I would not. I am just trying to figure out what I can do to help the situation, and I don't think that I can, but I will look into it if they want me to.
Yeah, I'm done.
Well, yeah, I don't even know.
Is that not something that, as the council, that you guys agree upon, and she goes, or one of you go to the county commissioner meeting asking to get stricter ordinances in town?
Well, but those.
And if you have to start,
so-
if you have to start at that level,
So-
then you
so-
start working your way up.
It's set by the state, that's
Yes.
why.
Yes, but
And
you
if they
say
want-
starting at county commissioner level.
Yeah. I mean,
I went to the actual office and talked to him first.
my first step would be to go talk to the judge and say, what can we do? Because he's the one who determines it. That's what I would do. And is there anything that we can do? But I'm just telling you, I've been doing this for 10 years, and it's set by the state. So he would have more luck with the state legislators and representatives to see if we can get harsher fines in the state of Indiana for speeding than it is for the town of Owensville to try to find out something that, and I'll look into it, but the answer is going to be, it's the state. That's what the answer is.
Because that's at the maximum fine.
They set the guidelines, minimum, maximum, and the judge has the discretion to either do the minimum, maximum, or a graduated basis of whatever he decides to do, or he or she decides to do. They decide what the fine is going to be, and that's why you have a court date. So if you don't like your fine, you can go and talk to the judge, and he can go outside of that for extenuating circumstances or whatever they want to do. But it's a state guideline, and the town of Owensville can't tell the state of Indiana what to do, and the state of Indiana can't tell the federal government what to do. That's why we have federalism.
Yeah, but you know what, I like the word she said, guideline. Doesn't mean it's carved in stone, it's a guideline. If, the way I see it, that if it can be improved upon to help out a township, a county, or a certain part of the state, I can't see why it cannot be improved on, even on a temporary basis. And that's what I was asking for. Just the summertime, keep the kids safe. What are you gonna tell a parent when he's gonna get run over? Wait for say prayers to the family and then saying, well, the council knew about it because that dipshit from California brought it up and nothing was done. And now that we got a dead kid, because I don't know if you people ever listened to your town. I did because I was new here. I would sit at Pat's drinking a soda and maybe having a pizza, a cold pizza, and then those things that they used to sell. And I listened to the old guys talk. They tell you exactly what's going in town. You sit at a stop and go, same thing. You can hear all the complaints about the town right there. You stand in line at the Dollar General, and you can hear all the complaints that are going on. But you learn how your town is. You learn how sick your town is. And what they would like to have done, but nobody does it. Because unfortunately, I haven't heard anything from you guys referring to the safety of the town. The safety of its people, especially the little ones. Those are your future, man. I don't know if you got kids or grandkids, but they are your future. They say that a man's immortality goes through his kids and his grandkids. Now, none of mine live in this town. This man here, I just recognized him a little while ago. My wife used to work with him. He lost his daughter. Steve down there, Rick over there, gives me the hardest time because I wear my Toto shirt. But I don't care. He's a friend. And he has concerns about the town too. You sit there and listen. Listen to the people, what they need, what they want. Not just sitting up there looking pretty and handsome. I swear to God, it isn't. Because your future is sitting out in the streets. And they're playing ball. They're on skateboards. They're on rollerblades or whatever they got. They got bicycles. And they got cars going 30, 40 miles an hour. I got a neighbor that lives on the corner of 6th Street and North. I don't know, you might know the man, I don't know his name. Thin man, gray hair, comes it back, walks like a rocket. 9 o'clock every morning he's going by my house. You can set my watch to him. During the winter, when they plowed the street, it was still icy, he's doing his walk. Some fool loses control, nearly hits him. Never heard a word from that man until that day he cursed up a storm. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. He nearly got run over. Why? Because an idiot was going to work out of time. Hit that snooze button too many times, and then he was late.
I can't say I live right by the RH Center, and all these people are over that. People fly down by the RH Center. I got the little concrete things. I don't know who did that. That was smart. I totally fixed every one of them. If they hit it, their car is done. But they do fly, and I see kids out all the time. I'm just being real. They fly. I'm putting videos up. If I get a plate number, I'm giving it to Roger. I know him personally, so.
Okay.
Is there any other avenue besides fines?
You can't put up signs because they ignore them. You could put a 5-mile-an-hour sign or a 50-mile-an-hour sign. They're still going to beat it.
Right, and we have no control over the fines, is what we're getting at.
Okay, that's fine, but
So
if this man over here gets a little more help, him and Roger.
That's what I'm saying, that might be the avenue. We just gotta get creative with it.
Well, I don't know.
Because the fines, we can't do anything about that.
Well, you can probably talk to the new sheriff or the same sheriff that's up there because I voted for him. And he might assign what? No, I'm not saying that.
But it's about deputies.
About deputies.
Yeah, you can assign more deputies and dump this place full of deputies. You got one on each end of Second, Third, and Main. You're gonna have a whole lot more than he does, and then he's gonna be going, yeah, come on, bring it on, guys, because they're gonna point him out, and he's gonna be here. Come in, I'm gonna fill you out, fill you out, fill you out. And if you got that construction going on, he can add on the reckless driving to it. Because it doesn't have to be posted that it's a construction zone, as long as you got flashing lights, warns you, that's considered reckless, according to the sheriff. According to the sheriff. Now, I didn't look up the law, but I might have to. I might see you here next month. You might not want to see me, I don't care.
I I gave him the state senator, Darrell Schmidt. I told him that's who he needs to talk to. So.
All right. Corey, you have anything?
There's no place to go. She said, guys, all I can say is we can think about it. I mean, I already know the answer, but the only reason is put a bug in your ears and think about it. Think about it amongst yourselves. You got kids, you might have grandkids. I'm not saying you're old, but I met you before. Well, you were joking on us a little while ago, so I don't know. And you might have teenagers over there, sir. So.
I'm not ashamed. Anyway.
What'd you say your name was?
Rolando Reyna, 406 North 3rd Street. You want to visit? Come on down. You want to heckle me? Come on down. I'll have coffee and a cigarette with you. And you've been, where I live. You've been there hundreds of times.
Well, I don't even know where to begin.
I mean, I appreciate you coming up and expressing your concern.
It's not my concern, sir. It's the concerns of the town. All you have to do is listen. Yeah, seriously, all you have to do is listen. Hey, how many times was it posted today yesterday, on the Owensville Connect about the speedster? Just go back and look. It'll tell you, at least 7 or 8 posts were about it, or comments and stuff like that, and they tell you where it's happening. All you have to do is just look. Pay attention to the town. The town will tell you.
Okay.
Regardless, thank you. I'm hearing what you're saying. I mean, we've had this concern for a long time. We've been talking about First Street and Main Street and all kinds of things. This is the first I've started hearing about Mill Street being a problem, but I mean, it sounds like it's everywhere. Doesn't matter where it's at. Obviously, we need to be looking into what we can do, but regardless of all that, people need to tell your family and friends, be smarter. You can do that till you're blue in the face, choking on your own spit.
And it's not just
But
people from out of town.
people still make choices and we have to deal with them. Again, we can look at these things and try to figure out what we can do. If we're talking about getting with the county, we can see if we can do some sort of,
The sheriff did send
Like-
out an
like a
email
week-long-
to his deputies, telling them the issues and to make
Yeah.
themselves known.
I mean, we've even, Main Street would be probably, I've had conversations with people about like a speed hump down Main Street just because it's going downhill and everybody flies through there. It's only, a 20-mile-an-hour zone, I think.
Most
So,
of the
I
town
mean,
is 20 miles an hour.
Obviously, we don't want to put stop signs everywhere. They don't always listen to that either. And we don't want to create hazards just by putting speed bumps everywhere either, but, I'm sure there's things we can do. When it comes to state highways though, that's definitely a
I'm not saying
state,
nothing about the state highway. I'm talking about the neighborhoods.
well, what I'm saying though is if that is a concern, Mill Street's a concern, and it's 35 is too much and we think it needs to be dropped, we need to say something to her.
I don't
We
think
need to get on the
I don't
state.
think 35 is too much. 45, 50 might be too much. Probably killing that dog.
Well, it won't be
was
long
going-
and we won't be able to use that road yet,
Excuse me?
because they're gonna tear it up.
Well,
But that'll be a construction zone too, so,
you mean a reckless zone, I hope?
You what?
A reckless zone, I hope, reckless driving.
I would.
I've seen those signs out on the interstates, I think you would call them here, or whatever. What is it like? Something $1,000 and several years in prison for getting fined like that? That'd be real nice. I would slow it down on a lot of people. Because in reality, the only way to hurt people is hit them in the pocketbook. Hit them in the pocketbook. Well, my blood pressure's gone up. You guys have a good one. Be safe. And sounds beautiful. But I don't know what the rest. I don't know. Am I locked in? You locked in? I didn't lock it.
Why are we locked?
Did you just log it? No, they don't. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Eastern California, only what they drink, so.
Other way.
On the other hand, I've been here for 3 years from New York City, and I find this place very calm and peaceful and a little jam, so.
Not bringing California as well.
Everybody's got their own perspective, and,
Yeah.
and everything he said, was valid. There are things that we can do to make things safer for the children and for everybody, so.
Well, I don't think I've heard somebody say that they like the town so much, and then turn around and slang the
Well-
town so much.
I can't remember the last time somebody called me pretty, but that's okay. Okay, that being said,
That's
if
because,
nobody has anything,
that's never happened.
yeah, you're right. I will make a motion to adjourn the Owensville Town Council meeting at 7:46 PM.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.